Good day to you. Hmm. Oh, not too many pictures, but a lot of names. Hello, hello. You know, even when you're off screen, that I'm with you, right? You can probably feel us in your space. So there's really not too many places to hide. We thought that we would just throw that out there for everyone, right? And why would we be in your space? And by the way, we're safe, we're inert, we're not going to cause any harm. Why would we be in your space? Well, we're in your space because there's a transmission, obviously, but we're also in your space because each and every one of you have some sort of a connection to Metatron, whether you know it in your brain or you know it in your heart or know it in your energy field, you have a connection to that which will be. So what does that mean for you? It means you can do whatever you want with that connection, right? You can talk to us, you can ask us questions outside of this format. We will respond to you, right? Many people say that once they have, been on a call and then reach out to Metatron, that they actually hear this voice respond to them. So that's the purposeful good of this funny voice. So that when you are reaching out to us and you hear the response like this, then you have a greater understanding that you are connecting with our frequency, with us. No? So, what we going to do together today? Who has questions? Nadia, what's up?
Hey, Metatron, how are you?
Always well.
Do you have a message for me today?
One moment. Yeah, let us approach it humorously. It's it is that point of choice. You get to choose to continue to get in your way, own way, right? Or make that choice to kind of slide the ego aside and let the true you come forward. You always forget that you're more than what sits in that chair, even though we remind you time and time again. So we would really love it if you took a little time just to go inside and begin to understand who and what you are. You know that our channel already told you she sees what is possible for you. Metatron will validate that comment. So use all of your resources, use all of your tools, and do your best to kind of scoot the ego to the side. I guess that maybe that wasn't too humorous, but we love you. We could have come and said, yes, we are going to kick you in the tush, right?
Right, right.
Right. Or tickle you till you cry uncle, because that's where you are. You're in that space to say, okay, uncle, that place of surrender. You have been working on that for a while now, and you're getting better. You're getting better. We want you to know things are shifting and changing. Okay? Just don't live it up here, live it everywhere.
Got it. Thank you.
Welcome. We'll let you sit with that a little bit, and we'll probably come back a little bit later. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Who else has questions for us? We see everybody looking at us, wondering what we might have for you. Do you want to know? You have to ask. Did you know that it is not a channel's job to give you information unless we have permission to do so? That is a great thing for all of you channels to remember, that when you get one of those pieces of information for someone, that you hold it and ask them if you may share it. Right? Because people don't always want to know what you're getting, right? All right, Michael.
All right, this is for David here.
Hey,
Hi,
Metatron,
David.
how are you today?
Always well, my friend.
That's wonderful. That's great. That's great. So, just a general got a message. What have you got to say for me today? Um, since I can't think of a specific question at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Well, the message is expand the box a little wider. You're you're in a real period of time of creation, my friend. And you're being asked to stretch your mind, stretch your imagination wider than ever before. And this is so that you are able to bring the totality of who and what you are and what you have to offer to the here and now. Does that make sense to you?
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah. And so within that, allow yourself just to use your imagination more, because in this creation process, we always know that you're in your heart, but a lot of times you get kind of caught up in the head, right? Please shift your brainwave frequencies from beta to alpha, and things will expand a lot more easily for you. Okay. You are also, we're going to ask you to really pay attention to your physical body. There's something going on. And we keep coming to the sternum. So double check if you have any ribs out of alignment, or anything like that is going on. Do you have someone who is a chiropractor that is available to you?
Yes.
Please have them check your structure, right? Sometimes, and this is for everyone, if your structure is out of alignment, it presses on different meridians and nadis within the body, and some of those can lower your immune. And this is a time that everybody wants to have a strong immune system. So please, will you double check, David? All right.
I will.
All right. Any
Thank
other
you.
questions?
Well, how best could I work on that expansion and get in, out of my head, so to speak.
Right. Yeah. And the first step is to get it out of the ethers and get it on a piece of paper, right? Make it physical that way first. And then you can start to build from there. And what you're going to notice is that you're going to write things down, and then it's going to be like a puzzle, and you're going to be shifting some pieces around that are going to make the whole thing more harmonious and aligned. Okay? So that's the
Okay.
first thing. Get it into the physical, because that's where you will be sharing what you're bringing is in the physical. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right. We'll come back later. Hello, beloved one. We are going to give you a hug in just days, right?
Does that mean me?
Yes, indeed.
Yes,
Voice.
I'm very excited. Hello, thank you, Em, for being here.
Indeed.
I would like
And
to ask, oh, sorry.
we're sorry. We keep seeing people trying to get on, and evidently.
I would like to ask for a message for myself of inspiration. I'm just feeling weary with my days. This floats up and down.
Okay. So one piece of inspiration we have for you is to remind you how much of an inspiration that you are to others. How the love that you hold within you is continuously reflected outward for everyone to see, for everyone to receive. This past year has been the most challenging year of your life. And it doesn't seem possible that things will get easier, but they are, and they will continue to resolve, to get easier. Right? You have not veered from the path. You're absolutely where you need to be, where your soul has placed you, because you're still on the soul's journey. There's nothing else, right? And within this journey, you are loved beyond belief, supported in ways that you can't even imagine, held, rocked. You felt that a few times. But the real inspiration is you, who and what you are, and what you bring to this beautiful planet. Right? And that will never change.
Thank you
You're
for
welcome.
reflecting, sharing, expanding, bringing awareness, for
Indeed.
being in this moment of that.
Indeed.
Thank you so much.
And we will remind you that all will be well when you come to Sedona. Lay it down and come free.
Thank you. I'm working on that. I'm doing the pre-work
Yes, indeed.
for
Indeed,
that.
as is our channel.
Mm.
Mm.
Thank you
All
so
right.
much. I love you.
And we love you as well. Pardon us. All right. Victoria, hello. Beloved
Hello,
one, it's always
Metatron.
so wonderful to see you.
Same. Um, so in Miss Wendy's class, we did oracle healing, and a theme that came up for me was betrayal. And in this lifetime, I have a mother that consistently puts me through the cycle of betrayal, forgiveness, betrayal, forgiveness. So in this lifetime, is this my 101 ways to forgive, to where it's never going to end? Or am I just, because I have to find different ways within myself to be like, okay, I have to forgive her because she was abused growing. Like, do I make excuses for her, but which I think are also compassion? Like, I don't know, but I'm always finding different ways to forgive. Or is it going to come to a head to where I'm like, bingo, I finally found the thing where she's going to look at herself and I'm going to win.
There's no winning in this, right? But what we would like to bring to your attention is that you have continually, throughout your life, been abandoning yourself. Where did you go? There you are. The cycle that you're in, you already know it's toxic. And you feel that you should or you must forgive. And then when you do, the cycle starts over again. What we would say to you, and this is going to sound counterintuitive, or to sound very counterintuitive, stop forgiving.
Okay, that gives
Demand
me relief, actually.
accountability.
Yeah.
Set a boundary. You can still love someone and have a boundary,
Yeah.
right? You have turned yourself inside out, worrying, trying to forgive some things that are almost unforgivable. So understand that your mother cannot change. You're the one that can. You're the one that can choose something different for yourself. You can choose to set a boundary, to be empowered, to love from a bit of a distance, right? I love you,
Yeah.
but I love you, but I'm just gonna hold you right there. It is a beautiful thing and part of the journey to forgive. But when you get into that loop that you've been in, that path that you've been on, it begins to be self-abusive. And so we hold you dear. You are dear to our heart. Please feel free to call upon us at any time to help you to create a boundary. And you can begin by saying, what do I want it to look like? What do I want it to feel like? I
That's
know
a great
what
question.
I don't want it to look and feel like, but what do I want it to look and feel like? And then you set your boundaries, you empower yourself to be able to say, no, I'm not going there. No, I'm not doing this. Right? I love you and I'm not doing this. It is not necessary to allow yourself to be mowed over by loved ones. This goes for everyone, right? Finding your love for yourself, Victoria, is important. It feels like you've been kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel, right?
Mhm.
And so it's time to give to you right now. It's time to bring it back to yourself, connecting to your soul, not worrying about other people's journey, not feeling like you are responsible for cleaning up somebody else's garbage.
That's empowering. Thank you, Metatron.
Does this help?
Very much.
Good. Just know that you are beloved to us. Call upon us.
Definitely.
All right, Michelle.
Hi, Metatron. Thank you. Um, so I was rereading my
Oh.
notes.
Oh, we have two Michelles. I'm sorry.
Oh,
All
that's
right,
okay.
I'll come back. I'll come back to the
I
other Michelle. It's all right.
I
Okay,
was later.
Michelle.
I'm happy to defer.
No, it's fine. It is fine. Everybody gets
Okay.
seen today.
Thank you, Michelle. I was rereading my notes from our session, and I was doing some meditating, and I was hearing, that we are never out of union, that we are never out of relationship. But then I was reading about split, we had discussed split soul. And so my question is, how does that play? How does a split soul play into union? Is it
Well,
their split soul when they're incarnated and they're whole when they're disincarnated, or what is that? Or they're still whole, it's just their other part of their soul is running around somewhere that they're not conscious of.
a split soul, there's many different ways that a split soul happens and many different ways it looks. You can have, a piece of the soul here and a piece of the soul not incarnate. You can have two pieces of the same soul in the body, and it's still a split soul. That happens a lot with traumatic brain injury people, right? Many different ways to have that experience, but you have to understand that there's nothing outside of God, that everything is whole. There's nothing that is broken anywhere, no matter what your experience is. Even something like a deep trauma, a split soul, is still complete. It is still God.
Mhm,
Okay?
mhm,
The human aspect of that individual is the one that's playing out the story to their soul's agreements and understanding. So you're all one soul, you're all source, right? No matter what it looks like. If there's, a fracturing of the soul, if you are walking, it does not matter. It's all one thing with different experiences. Is that helpful?
Yes, it makes me relieved in general, and for some reason relieved of the burden of guilt.
Okay. Yeah.
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 Because, he's really trying to keep this marriage together. And the more he tries, the more I'm pretty certain it's done.
Yeah.
And I don't want to cause greater pain or greater splitting. And at the same time, yes, I have to take care of myself.
Yeah. And please remember, you will not cause pain. It is his choice how he reacts to any situation. You please remember your teacher's teachings, right? When you're sovereign and you're making your choices, this is for everyone, when you're making your choices from that place, then it is everybody else's responsibility how they respond to that. It is not your responsibility how he responds. It's only your responsibility to care for you, to live in that highest aspect possible today.
Okay.
Is that helpful?
Yes, thank you.
Guilt, guilt is like time, is one of those illusions. It's a way that you beat yourselves up
Absolutely.
with guilt, right? Right, Victoria? Right? Right, Nadia? Everyone has moments in time where they beat themselves up with guilt. And I'm going to ask you to please see it for the illusion that it is. you can hold love for someone and still be complete with the relationship. The two are not mutually exclusive,
Right.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Indeed. Indeed. All right, the other Michelle. Hmm.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. First off, thank you last night for being with me in my round table and assisting me with that contract. Thank you.
Mhm.
Um, so now that I have cleared that fear, I feel I am finally on the path of my purpose. And it's exciting, it's expanding, bringing the light, already starting with that. And what advice do you have for me right now?
Well, to take a look at something that we've been speaking about recently is your oracle wounds
Mhm.
as to be shown, because that is kind of the last bit of clearing, healing that is present for you. And the all the oracles, Michelle, have wounds from lifetimes of, many different things: abuse, abandonment, death, and your lifetimes as a witch are within that as well for everyone, right? So please take a look at your oracle wounds, ask to be shown, ask guidance to show you, what you need to see, what you need to know about your oracle wounds. You can go to your round table and ask, right? And begin the healing process of those. You have the tools for that. You have the tools for that already, right? And if you feel that you are shaky on the tools, then go to Lynn, and she'll help you just move
Mhm.
through it.
Yeah,
Like
when
a
you're
hot,
saying that.
yeah, yeah. And so that is what's up for so many of you oracles at this point in time, is, the collective unconscious is waking up, and so there's a lot of stuff flying around, and you're being brought into your highest aspect. To do that, the wounds must be clear, because you cannot take yourself to your highest aspect with the trauma and the wounds that you've traveled millennia with, right? And even in this lifetime. Right?
So the best, go to the round table, show it, catch up at
Right.
the last past life where I was at
Has,
Delphi.
yeah, has to be shown, your oracle wounds, and they will take you back to lifetimes, and they will show you the pictures, and then you have the opportunity to clear that. You can remove the cords between that lifetime and this lifetime, and whatever healing that you feel that it needs. Right? We know you have the tools. Okay?
Thank you.
All right. Keep up the good work. Mm.
Uh,
Mm.
working on it day
Yes,
by
indeed.
day.
And you are witness.
Hmm.
Please don't think that it does not go unobserved. Okay?
Thank you. One
We've
tiny
got your
little,
back.
yes, you do. And
Yeah.
everybody, they've got your back. We all have each other's back.
Yes, indeed.
Mm.
Absolutely. All right. Does this help you?
That does. I do have a tiny quick one. All the cleansing and smudging at them with the house, did I get all the little ickies? Good. Okay.
Yeah, that space is hard to keep clean for whatever
Mhm.
reason. It's hard to keep energetically clean. Do
Yes,
you
it
have
is.
access? Do you have access? Is it like an apartment or is it a standalone?
A standalone ranch house.
Okay.
There is
Do
a
you have?
portal in the back, but it's a good
Yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So do you have the availability to slide like a cake pan full of salt under the porch or under
Mhm.
a trap? Kind of slide it a little bit under the house.
Mhm.
That will be helpful. All right.
With the mix of the pink and black salt be good?
Yeah, whatever your intuition says, that is beautiful. Yeah. Okay. Give that a try and see if that helps it to stay cleaner longer. Right?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
trying.
All right. All right. All right, Lily. Hello. It's okay. You'll find it. You'll get it. Just relax.
Yeah, sorry.
There you are.
Hi, I'm
Hello.
Metatron. I was open to any message you might have for me today.
What if there's no message? Oh, interesting, right? Well, there is a message, but we want you to just feel what that felt like for a moment, right? You feel like that a lot of the time. You feel like you're looking for the message and it's being withheld, or you're not receiving to the depth of your questions or what it is that you need. And so we're going to ask you to remember that, turning outward these days, these events are fun and we can bring a little bit of information, but ultimately we are sending everybody back into that internal journey to understand who and what you are. And you are a beautiful light that has a lot to offer. And you have not quite taken ownership of your gifts. Right? And what do we mean by taking ownership of the gifts? It's like sometimes you get the intuition and you ignore it. Yeah. Our woman still does that occasionally, right? But there is that place of owning who and what you are that is part of your empowerment, part of stepping into that sovereign aspect of you, right? Being in the background anymore is not serving you, right? There's several things in your life that aren't serving you. So we would ask you to take some time and ask Spirit to show you what is no longer serving you. And then you have the ability to make different choices, shift perceptions, make different choices, right? Look at what you really want your life to look like and feel like, and begin to believe that it's possible instead of living in impossibilities. Because it's all there for you. Is that helpful?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for the light that you bring. It's important. Everything you do matters. Everything all of you do matters. All right. Are
Thank
you
you.
feeling complete?
Yes, thank you.
All right. Good. Oh, hello, Jana. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Metatron.
How have you been?
I have been fairly well.
Good.
We moved from the moldy house,
Yes.
and I think it's made a big difference with my health.
You look different. You have a different energy.
Interesting. Yeah, I think that being away from the house that was, I think there were entities there too, and
Yeah.
it was just
Yeah.
that we needed
Yeah.
to leave.
Yeah. It wasn't serving you, right? It
No,
wasn't your place.
it was beautiful on the outside and beautiful on the inside, but just not the right place. So now I'm in a much cleaner environment, I think.
Good.
So I just wanted to check that with you and see if you had any other messages from me.
Good stories. What's above you? Is it 2 stories?
Yes, it's 2
Okay.
stories.
All right.
I think immediately directly above me is the bathroom, the master
Okay.
bath, the primary bathroom.
Okay. That would be really the only thing to keep your eye upon.
Mhm.
Any leaks in the pipes or around the top shower area. Okay.
Okay.
There's nothing. The energy is really clean. There's no little critters hanging out. And by that we mean,
Yeah.
dust bunnies. It's a good place. It's solid. It will be very comforting and comfortable. And the best part is that you'll continue to feel better.
Yes. I think so. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. And you know that you're always welcome to reach out if there's anything that you need. Right?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Is there a garage to the house?
There's an attached garage.
Okay. That may have a tendency to leak occasionally, but that should not impact you inside the house. Okay.
Okay. Good.
Just something to know if there's big rain coming. All right.
Yes, and I'm sure there will be.
Yeah. Yeah. We agree. There will be. Lots of rain this winter.
Yes.
All right. Does that assist you?
That assists me greatly. Thank you so
Good.
much.
You are so welcome. So welcome. Mickey.
Hi, Metatron.
Hello. It has not been very long.
No, it hasn't. And I must thank you. Although some of it felt vague the last time we talked, the deeper I went inside, the more I got. And so it forced me to go really deep in to see what was going on. And I really got many different things, but the one that comes to mind is, how could I love my mother in the most exquisite way? And I really, really got that. And I think the hardest part is it totally kicked into what we were talking about earlier with boundaries. What I was really angry about was how much she sucked the energy off of me, but pretended like that wasn't what was happening.
Right.
And that's so confusing to a little girl.
Yes, yes.
and
It's
to any,
confusing to grown-ups.
right, it's confusing to everybody, but really
Mhm.
confusing. And
Mhm.
I really got that I still deeply care, but I can only spend a certain amount of time before I'm wrung out like a rag doll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
I totally get it. And I actually had a client today, so it reminded me of what I think it was Victoria was talking about. My client had the same issue, draw the line. Where is the
Mhm.
boundary?
Yeah.
I can only spend 5 minutes with you.
Yeah.
I'm only available for 10 minutes.
Right.
And it felt really good.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's what
Yeah.
one of the
And make those 5 minutes and those 10 minutes as
the
juicy and full of love as
yes,
possible.
absolutely.
Because that 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 how much time is not as important as the quality of what is being offered in the moment, right?
And I wasn't able to give that quality. And that was what was really bothering me. And now I really have a clear vision of it. So thank you very much.
You're so
Besides,
welcome.
besides that, I did have a question. Because I'm writing this book that I'm writing, and I know spirit has pulled my clientele back, not entirely, they're coming, but back so that I can write the book. What can I do to keep my business profitable while I'm
Well,
writing and publishing that book?
well, you can negotiate with spirit and say, hey, listen, you know, I need X, Y, and Z to be able to take the time and the space to write the book. Please bring me ABC to support that, because you work for God, you work for spirit, and your paycheck is the clients that
Right.
that come to support you financially. Ask ask spirit to show you the exact number of clients that will keep you healthy and stable and happy financially while you're creating your okay.
That spirit has been sending them, but it's at the edge, it's like, here's
Right.
3, here's 4.
Yep.
But I
That's
like what you're saying about be specific about
yeah,
what I'm asking for.
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
And
that helps.
we will tell you that many of the healers and channels right now, it's things are trickling in instead of the full flow. And part of that is the energetics upon the planet at this time. So it will shift.
That helps too, because yeah, I've always had a steady flow for 8 years, and
Yeah.
suddenly it's a trickle, and
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
is hard for me. So
Okay.
I kind of one more question. Do I have an oracle wound?
Yes.
What would that be?
You're going to go find
You're
out.
going to make me go deep inside and find it.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
our job. We're not going to tell you go look at Egypt or go look at Spain, right? We're going to tell you to go inside and find it, because you're an oracle.
My actual clients, I have a client, and he calls me every month or so and says, "You're my oracle, you're my oracle."
Yeah.
And I don't call
Yeah.
myself an oracle, but my
Why?
clients do.
Why? Why don't you all call yourself
I
oracle?
think maybe that's where the wound is. So maybe I need to just go in and find it.
Maybe it's all right, beloved one.
Thank you.
Yeah, check it out. And if you're in need of assistance, let us know. All right. Okay. All right. Alyssa, welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Metatron. So I've been listening to everyone's questions, and I always feel like everything has, something that applies to me. And a lot of times I just stay quiet. And I was originally going to ask just whatever message you had for me, but I feel like I need to ask you what's on my heart right now, and that is that I've always been an extreme person. I've struggled with extremes in everything that I do. I'm either the best at it or like, don't want to have anything to do with it. In my adult life, I have struggled with a lot of addiction. And I want to know how I can deal with that and really any bad habit. So, I mean, if it's not alcohol, maybe it's sugar, and how can I approach that without being in a state of resistance where like I'm
Ah,
just white knuckling it or not, like just not doing it because it's not good for me, quote unquote. But like, then I'm not, yeah,
right,
that's it.
right. So the addictions are a symptom. They are not the cause. Addictions are a symptom of something else that's going on. And it, for you, is multiple layers. Okay. Your body chemistry is out of balance. Okay. Your hormonal balance, your chemical balance of your physical body is out of whack. And this adds to the the stress of wanting to shift and change that. And so the addictive behavior, the eating and the sugar and or whatever, is consumed to try to bring some balance to something that's out of balance. Okay, that's number one. How do you check? How do you get help for that? That would be going and having a blood test and having them take a look at your hormones and all of that. And then they can make recommendations based on that as to how to help. And that's a real core issue, right? You still have unhealed trauma, and unhealed trauma is something that really uh, pulls the addictions in, trying to make it feel safe, trying to make it feel okay. And so working to heal the traumas, and you might not even be aware of all of them up in your brain, right? But they reside in your physical body, right? And so the addictions uh, are used to try to smooth over the traumas so they're not so uncomfortable, right? And then and this will perhaps uh, sound odd to you. You've had a near-death experience, yeah?
Yes.
During that near-death experience, you also had something that is called a walk-in experience or a soul exchange. And if you want to know more about that, you can reach out to our woman and to Michael. There is a complimentary circle once a month to help individuals that have walked in to get their feet planted on the ground. And addictions sometimes follows the walk-in process. Okay. So I know that we've kind of maybe uh, stirred the pot instead of really giving you an answer, right? But uh, this is what is so. This is what is going on. So where would we have you begin, perhaps, is coming into balance in the physical body, and then maybe reaching out and getting some help with the walk-in experience, and maybe that will help to resolve some of the other things that you've got going on. Okay.
Okay. Thank
Is
you.
that helpful to you?
It is helpful. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Good.
Okay.
Michael, are you there? Raise your hand. It says Annie Elizabeth. Wave at Alyssa. Michael is also a walk-in, Alyssa. So is our channel. So we're kind of pros at helping walk-ins. All right. Yes, indeed. Hmm. All right. We're back to your screen, Michael. Who are we talking to this time? Annie. Hmm. Hello, beloved one.
Hello, Metatron. So good to see you again.
Good to see you as well. How are you doing?
I'm coping, doing my best.
Okay.
Thank you. And we have a group coming. You know that we do a small group here, and we practice some grid work where we work with you, of course. And we have a friend who's coming. His name is Autry, and he's coming from Mariposa on November 16th to teach a small group of us some grid work. And just would like to know if you have any guidance or blessing for us related to that session that we're going to do, and if there are any other master beings that we might want to be working with. That's my question.
Okay. So anybody that does this kind of a work gets a gold star from Metatron, right? Because it's the type of work that's really needed upon this planet. Mickey does this type of work on the planet as well. She travels to beautiful foreign places and does grid work, right? And so the individual that's coming from Mariposa brings some really juicy magic, right? You know how some people just seem to bring something really special. And in their presence, you're going to not learn per se, but understand at a deeper level the importance of the grid work and what can actually be accomplished, not only here on this 3D plane, but dimensionally as well. This individual will take you many dimensions, right? So this is something that, of course, Spirit has called you to. What we see is that your home is always like the party house. There's always so many guides and angelic beings and galactic beings that land and move through depending on what's happening and what's needed. So what interesting. Commander Ashtar from the Ashtar command is saying, please invite anyone that your heart desires. When you call, they will show up. That is their guarantee to you, promise to you, right? And so you will be working more deeply with the galactic beings that are serving Gaia and humanity, right? So call upon them, have chats with them, ask questions, right? It's all good. It's all good.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Please care for yourself.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm doing my best.
Yes, we understand. We do understand.
Hard time.
Please do not hesitate to reach out to our woman if need be. All right?
Thank you. So grateful.
All right. Indeed. All right. All right. Okay. We can come back around for more questions if people have more questions. Ah, there you are, Victoria. You have more questions, yeah?
Yes, I have a question, Metatron. Lately, I have been more divinely guided than usual in my life. I know I'm divinely guided, but now for some reason, like my visions are getting clearer, my connection is getting easier, and I keep getting guided from one spiritual journey to the next. Like once I finish one, I'm on to the next, I'm on to the next. And it's like never ending. Why? Like what's the end result here? Like I don't even know what all of this is for. Like is it just for me, which is fine, or is there a bigger picture of some, I don't know. I don't know what this is. Like why am I doing this? Why is this happening?
Well, it's part of your awakening process, right? It's part of your ascension process. And is there an objective to it? Yeah, to evolve, right? It's not a destination location, it's something that you will be living with and experiencing as long as you're here upon planet, right?
Definitely
The
interesting and fun.
I'm sorry, say it again.
It says definitely interesting and fun.
Yeah, and we're glad that you're enjoying it, because through this process, by doing what's right in front of you, which is something that we ask everybody to do what's in front of you. Don't worry about what's over there. Be here now, right? While you're doing that, right, you're growing into your sovereignty. You're growing into your God I am presence in a way that you have not had an experience with in the past, or even access to in the past, because you were just not ready, right? So it's a journey of your evolution. Will you be helping others at some point in time? Yeah, you will. Do you have to know what it's going to look like now? No, because you're being guided to all of these things, and each thing is a tool for your toolkit. And as you have more tools in your toolkit, you begin to feel more confident. And then Spirit goes, okay, here we go. We're going to put all of this to work in a beautiful way.
That's funny because I was asking guidance, like, what is this for? And they said, I can't tell you yet because you're going to force it. And we're just going to guide you slowly, step by step. Look at what's in front of you. So I was like, hopefully Metatron could tell me, but I guess it's the same.
Imagine that.
Right.
Well, we will say that the human beings need to know is actually detrimental to your evolutionary process, because people will say, if I don't know what it's going to look like in 2 years, 5 years, 2 decades, I'm not going to move from this little spot I've got myself backed into, right? So if you can surrender the need to know and just do what's in front of you every day, then all of a sudden you're going to be looking back over your shoulder and say, look where I have come from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Happy to help. Hello, old friend. How are you doing, Chris?
Been a long time, Metatron.
Yes,
Been
it
a long
has, my
time.
friend.
I think I need a session with you. I can actually can afford it today. This is kind of a question that's like a three-part question, but it all ties together. We have a channeling group in San Jose that gets about 40 people every other Sunday. And the channel David, who's been doing it for like 20 years,
Yeah,
said,
we know David.
said, yeah, David's a good guy. And I said, what's going on? I'm not getting the messages from the eighth chakra, from the crown to the eighth chakra. I'm not getting messages down here anymore. I'm going through something called integration. And a couple people have told me that. I don't even know what it is. And the thing is that instead of coming down into me, it's like more is, I repeat, I am Chris. I am Chris. I am Chris. And I get my answers that way and stuff. So I don't know what integration means.
Okay. Well, integration is a process of, think about when you're baking a cake, right? You put in some flour, you put in some eggs, you little salt and flavoring, and it all sits in the bowl in lump. And then you begin to stir it, and it turns into batter. That is integration. You are taking information, you are taking vibrations, you're taking light codes and soul codes that have been downloaded, and the integration means that they are going internal. They are lighting up areas of you that have not been awake to this point in time. Okay, so that's what integration is. You do something and then you rest. And so integration is kind of a resting period. Brief, or it could be a little bit longer, depending on what it is that you need. Right? And so and it makes sense that when you're saying, I am Chris, I am Chris, I am Chris, that you're getting the messages, because you could just as easily say, I am God, I am God, I am God.
God bless.
Yeah. Hmm. One moment. So do you see what we are saying, Chris? That your name and the name of God are synonymous.
Okay. So the second part of this question is, I used to trust, I mean, I was able to connect my sensitive stomach to my heart on a cord, and then also from my head a cord to my heart. So I speak through the heart. I can tell people that speak from the head because they're so analytical. But my question is, I don't remember anything before I was 22, except for 5 things. And it was all untreated childhood trauma, being raised with 2 mentally ill parents, severe, and 2 alcoholics, and I'm just curious. I was dating this narcissist for 10 years, and I went no contact 15 weeks ago. I broke it because I texted her a couple times, but I got this thing called cognitive dissonance. I can't remember 2 hours ago. I can't remember the past. It's all either blocked off in white light or whatever, I don't understand it.
There are ways that trauma impacts the physical body and the physical mind. It also impacts the energy field, right? So is any of your trauma still unhealed?
5 of them.
Okay.
Absolutely severe.
Yeah, so those are kind of the things that are, for lack of a better understanding, getting in the way. And what's happening on the planet right now is it's coming up for everybody. It's coming up for everybody. We have been working with people that by the time we get done with a very friendly session, they realize that there's a massive trauma that they have forgotten about in their life. So this is the time you're being squeezed energetically to bring those things to the surface to be witnessed and healed to the best of your ability. Yeah.
Okay. So can I make a statement to you?
Please.
That where you're from Metatron, I got this real strong feeling is Andromeda, but you aren't on Andromeda. You're actually a moon that goes around Andromeda with a bunch of very intelligent, upcoming psychics, whatever. And the moon is, you put out energy out from the moon going around Andromeda. Does that make sense?
We do have a lot to do with Andromeda and
Thank you.
the Andromedans. Yeah, we have a very deep relationship, and they are attuned to Metatron's frequency. And while we don't quite understand, we're not seeing what you're seeing, but they're receiving information like packets of light or Merkabahs full of information. And so that is what is occurring at this time. Okay. All right, Chris. You feel
Thank you,
complete?
Metatron.
Or welcome. Or welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm integrating. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Namaste.
Namaste. All right, Nadia.
I know the
Question number 2.
I should have asked you. So 2 years ago, when I was astral projecting, when I was remote viewing, when I was connecting with my guys in the dragons, the ego wasn't an option. What is the difference between then and now? How did I allow the ego to have so much control over me to where my connection is, because I'm just losing this battle against the ego right now.
Right. Okay. All right. So really it is an aspect of soul contract, right? You have contracted to have this experience of the ego, right? There's nothing wrong with it. Ego is just as much God as everything else, right? And what happens is that when you remember when the ego wasn't fully engaged in your life, it looks and feels so different. And now here it is, right? Again, we're going to ask you to look at those oracle wounds. Ask to be shown where in the process, right, that you adopted the ego or pulled the ego in for protection, to to keep you safe, to help you not be an oracle, let's put it that way. There was kind of a vow made that you would not be an oracle again. And you can unwill that. Remember, I am no longer willing, and will something else into being for yourself. But that's one of your oracle wounds, is when you kind of just said, I'm done.
Got it. That helps.
And that's not, the ego's not bad, but you used it to protect yourself, to have as normal of a life as possible. Because as an oracle, your life is not quote unquote normal. Right?
Got it. Thank you. Okay, that is very, very helpful. I can relax a little bit because I was just like, beaten down. But thank you.
No, you've got it, my friend. It's all going to be okay. We promise. We haven't lost anyone yet. All right. All right. Any other questions before we are complete today? All right. Thank you for coming to join up. Alyssa, you're going to have one last question. We see your hand up, Alyssa.
Yeah, I was just wondering if, real quick, and if you could tell me just a little bit more about walk-ins. And I know you already gave me a little bit of information about places to go next. But I was also wondering if that has maybe something to do with just this feeling that I have is about just kind of being tired, like been there, done that, like nothing is that interesting to me anymore. Like I just feel like it's hard to get excited about things. It's hard to like I don't know. Maybe.
Right. Okay. All right. There's many different types of walk-in experiences. What we see within you, and we're going to offer the information, and you're going to check in with yourself to see if it resonates. If it doesn't, that's okay. Right? We're not going anyplace. You can always reach out to us.
Mm-hmm.
The experience that you had might be referenced as a soul exchange. By agreement, by contract, the soul that you were born with came to a point of completion, and instead of dying the body, it had the agreement to bring in a higher level soul that came in and it stepped out. So what is functioning within you in this moment is a new soul, right? Your old soul that you knew so well has gone back home. And so things do not look the same. They do not feel the same. The things that you used to like, you don't like anymore. The passions are no longer the passions, and you can't quite find your path, right? You can't quite plant your feet. This is a very, very common response to the walk-in experience. Okay. Is that helpful?
It is. I guess I feel kind of like almost jealous. Like if my old soul went home, like why didn't I get to kind of thing? Like I don't
Well,
know.
the I that used to be you is no longer the I that you are now, right? And
Yeah.
so the I that you are now has a whole new journey, has a whole new set of markers for this life, right?
Okay.
A higher vibrational frequency soul. All right.
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you.
You're welcome. All right. All right. Last one. Chris, did you have one more question?
So, psychic from the Bronx and I got together and we did a meditation where we would go up in an elevator, they would open doors, two spirit beings would come out and we hand them a box and all the way up. I mean, this was an hour and a half thing. But when I got to the Trinity, it was interesting because, I saw God as just a big energy thing. Behind God, there was three people. And I'm thinking, what's that all about?
We don't know. That is your experience, right?
Okay.
You know, when you're at the level of God, people can take that elevator up and you're moving actually in your light body up to hang out with God or source. And so you might notice that there's others there doing the same thing, but to think that there's like three humans behind God, uh, we do not see it that way, Chris.
Okay,
Okay.
that's fine. Thank you.
You're welcome.
God bless.
Yes,
Sure.
indeed. All right. All right. We are going to be complete. Thank you all for coming to join us. We're going to be back again in November. So come and join the party. All right. Going to go ahead and invite our channel back. Until next time, beloved ones. Namaste. Coughing, sneezing fest. That was exciting. But for you all who are my channeling students, you get to see what it looks like for somebody to pull forward and then reapproach, right?
You were just talking about that. That was perfect.
Anyway, how's everybody doing? Doing good? Awesome. Well, thank you. It's been really wonderful to spend the evening. And Linda Mackey, I see you in there, sending you a big ol' hug. So enjoy your weekend, everyone. I'll look forward to seeing you again in November, and I will have some great stories to tell about Sedona. So, all right. Mwah. I'll see you soon. Be well. Bye. Bye, Michael. Bye, everybody.